Coming for Eversource customers, Western Mass News reporter Reagan Stoddard is getting answers on smart meter technology and how the utility company says homeowners can benefit from it.
Come late summer, Western Mass Eversource customers can expect a change to the way their energy information is collected. The company is rolling out smart meters. And although this technology has been around for almost 20 years, Louis Bazzano, the smart meter program director for Eversource, tells Western Mass News that the utility company is catching up with its neighbors.
What makes it smart is that it's tracking information pretty much continuously and providing information to the utility and the customer on a pretty frequent basis.
Traditional meters at Eversource are typically only checked once a month, tracking energy usage, but the new smart meters allow multiple different forms of information to be tracked.
But also the voltage, the current, safety conditions, and really know what's happening.
Bazzano says this can benefit customers to see exactly how much energy they're using each month.
If they only want to spend $300 on their bill this month, halfway through they could say, oh, well, I've already spent $150. I need to do something differently if I want to stay under budget.
Eversource says another benefit is what happens during power outages, as they won't need to rely on customer reports.
With these smart meters, we will know the second power outage is detected and then be able to react more effectively and understand the extent of outages.
But we have heard from residents voicing concerns over smart meters. We took some of their questions to Bazzano, which included what if a customer does not want a smart meter attached to their house?
So customers will have the option of opting out. There'll be a fee for getting a meter that doesn't communicate, and then also a monthly fee because we will then have to come out and manually read their meter every single month.
Eversource says customers will be notified 90 days before installation, and as long as Eversource has access to the meter, customers do not need to be home for the change. Reporting for Western Mass News, I'm Reagan Stoddard.